Hey all, and this is Brent with a reply to Mr. Artist 24 and his 137th podcast of the North Carolina Rowan County Anime Club, I believe, where he left a very, very kind shout out to Otaku no Video and the work I'm doing here, which is really awesome because Mr. Artist 24 is doing some really neat stuff over on his podcast. Not only is he using YouTube to communicate with folks about his anime club, his local anime club, he also talks about the anime he's watching. And this is a guy who's been doing this anime thing for a lot longer than I have. And it's just amazing seeing just his encyclopedic collection, both physical and in his brain, of anime. And I always enjoy it when I get a chance to watch his videos. And he asked me a question in his video. And it's about basically the question is kind of two-parter. One is, do we overanalyze anime, and can anime just be experienced as entertainment, if I've got that correct? And as usual, I have several answers to this. On the one hand, absolutely anime can be enjoyed purely as entertainment. And I think a lot of times we forget that most anime is made as a commercial venture. And yeah, we get caught up in the artistic aspects of it, but the guys making it are there, they're getting a paycheck out of it, and it has to make money, and they've got sponsors, and they've got bosses, and so forth, and there has to be that aspect to it. Nothing against that, but that is an important aspect of anime. So a lot of anime is just there to make money. And yes, there's an artistic aspect to it, but the commercial aspect is definitely there. And it is very important to be able to sit back and enjoy something. I have to admit, I am increasingly tired of people who call themselves fans of a show, and it seems like all they do is discuss endlessly what should or shouldn't happen in the show. And yeah, that's part of being a fan, is discussing it, but there comes a point where you're kind of nitpicking individual things, and they shouldn't have done this, and they should have done that, and I hate when that character, this happened to this character, this happened to that character. And at some point, you're not enjoying the show anymore. Especially when you're watching it every week, and then you go online and spend all your time dissecting it. There does come a point where that becomes a little silly. So yeah, sometimes we do get a bit too wrapped up in our shows. On the other hand, there are certainly anime that are meant to be more than just pure surface entertainment. If you look at Perfect Blue, or Millennium Actress, or Paprika, or Princess Mononoke, Nausicaa the Valley of Wind. Clearly, Satoshi Kon and Hayao Miyazaki were trying to say some things with those stories. They were trying to make points about environmentalism or human relationships, things like that. There's a bit more there to understand from those stories. And so I think it's appropriate and frankly respectful to those guys to take those things out of their work. If they spent the time putting that into the movie or the TV show, then it's only fair for us to take that back out and to understand that and think about it. So certainly there is anime that has some depth. The other thing, sort of on the gripping hand, I like shows that have depth and complexity and that have what Crispin Freeman calls mature adult storytelling. That's just what it's what I got into anime. That's what attracted me to anime in the first place, was the fun action sequences, and then the dramatic bits, the quiet character moments, and the things where suddenly these people were making points about being human. That's what kind of sucked me in. So that's what I like. I like that aspect of anime, that it can do that sometimes. Which is not to say that if you don't like that, you're not an anime fan. That's just the slice of anime that I like. If you like anime for entertainment, that's awesome too. And I'm not being ironic there. I'm honestly serious. That's your take. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing non-intellectual about that. It's just wanting different things out of that particular thing. So yeah, go for it. Absolutely. If you want to watch that. And of course, Mr. Artist, Robert, I know you um, you have no problem watching it for entertainment. That's great. I'm not going to convince you one way or the other. That's great. But for the average person watching this, definitely, get what you want out of it. But there is deeper, more complex stuff, and I like seeing it when seeing it. I like it when people actually do that. When folks take an art form beyond the surface. I think that's worth respect and worth mentioning, worth getting out there and telling people about. And if you don't want that, fine, that's cool. But I think it's a cool thing to celebrate that, personally. So whatever, if you want to go and delve in, go for it. If not, enjoy. And please, in general, just enjoy your anime, please.